world are developed, but very few leaders are intentional on implementing their manifesto. In our plan, Your Excellency, you promised that each Kenyan shall be able to access healthcare without suffering any catastrophic financial loss. And that's why, Your Excellency, as a ministry, we have identified the 4 pillars of universal health coverage. One of them, the commodity security that we are here today. Your Excellency, the other one is human resources, which we started the conversation 2 days ago as part of our celebrations. The third one, Your Excellency, is technology. All this cannot happen without leveraging on technology. And finally, on financing of healthcare. Many people did not believe it, but I want to take this opportunity to thank the team that works at the Ministry of Health for working day and night to ensure that we have the bills in place. Those bills are going to be a game changer. Your Excellency, when you launched the kits, there are people who dismissed and said, "Iyo ni mambo ya Nairobi." But for the last few days, I've been watching news, and many governors are now launching UHC with the kits that you flagged off from here. So I want to take this opportunity to invite Kenyans to Kericho County on the 20th when you are launching this, and to prove that indeed tumeleta afya nyumbani. And for Kenyans, tunasema afya yangu jukumu langu, si ndio? Afya yangu. With those remarks, I would like us to be up. Thank you, I've been corrected. I would want to invite Lazima Yuak, Governor of Nairobi. Karibu sana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, our President, Cabinet Secretaries, PSs, and our manufacturers. Good afternoon. Mine is very brief. It's just to tell you, manufacturers, there is no better time to be a manufacturer in Kenya. One, you have a president, first of all, a health manufacturer, health commodity. You have a president who has preoccupied himself with making sure Kenyans get the best healthcare and that manufacturing works. You stand at the nexus of 2 areas that are extremely close to the president's heart. You have an opportunity of a lifetime to sit with him and to discuss. We've always said that if you're not on the negotiating table, you're on the menu. So for the first time, you're not on the menu. So let's move from the menu to the table and have discussions about what is required. It is a pity that we import more than 70% of what we need in our pharmaceutical, and health products, yet many of these things can be done. Your Excellency, a few years ago, when I was the chair of the COVID committee, when the pandemic had struck, it was amazing to see the innovation of Kenyans. We had the vials for the tests being manufactured in the Coast Province and even being exported. We never knew until COVID showed us our weak underbelly. Us as county governments, because we deliver these services and we see ourselves as a strong partner to the national government in delivery of health services, we want to commit to actually absorb your products and to pay, not just to take them, but also to pay. We're the biggest consumer of these products. The CEO of KEMSA will tell you, apart from the debts, you should tell us how much we pay, because we pay for these products and for these commodities. But I believe the the ripple effect of supporting you is good for economy. We're going to spur the economy. We're going to make sure that the commodities are available at good prices. Today, Your Excellency, I have assented to the Nairobi Finance Act of 2023. And in that Finance Act, we thought and we sat and said, how do we enable manufacturing? One of the things I know many of you grapple with, especially those who trade in Nairobi, is multiple licenses and multiple fees. You're charged, multiple inspection. Now we have opened the way for the unified single business permit, where you're going to have only one license on your wall. For many of your operations, it is difficult sometimes to even know the color of the wall, because you have 10 licenses, you have fire, you have, health license, but now it's going to be one. And so this single business, unified business permit has allowed us to make your work easier. Let manufacturers, let business people be busy doing business, not complying. Let's leave that work to ourselves. We've also said that we're limiting the number of people who are coming to inspect your premises. You can't have one person today looking at this issue Tomorrow, somebody else is looking at a different issue. The next day, somebody else, all from the same county government. And I'd like to encourage other governors to follow suit so that we can allow business to thrive in our city and in our country. So count on us for support. We will soon publish our schedule of fees and charges, because I think business needs predictability, isn't it? You need certainty. You need to know that this is what I am owed, and this is the services that I need to demand, this is what I need to pay for. That is what we want to do for you. So whatever it takes, whatever we require in Nairobi, I'd like you to see us as a partner. I'm happy I've seen Hiten. Hiten was one of our executives in Nairobi in the health sector. Please come partner with us. We have 116 facilities in this city that need medicine, that need all of these commodities. And you can count on us on a partner. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki manufacturers.
Now, I would like to request all of us to be upstanding and invite His Excellency the President. A loud of applause.
Waziri, asante sana. Tafadhali, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Ministers present, the Governor of Nairobi, Principal Secretaries present, captains of our manufacturing fraternity in Kenya and community, good afternoon. Hamjambo. I apologize for coming in a bit late. We had a full plate this morning, and I made a deliberate decision to go all the way to Athi River just to see what one facility is doing there, one manufacturing facility of pharmaceuticals is doing, a partnership between Kenyan company and one from Bangladesh that are working in collaboration. They've been working for 15 years, and I know that is the story of many companies here. Some are as old as our country, some are older, others are in between now and then. And to congratulate all of you for being part of this journey of universal health coverage, a project and a program that we have always wanted to achieve as the people of Kenya. We have tried this universal health coverage twice and did not succeed. And that is why this time round, I made a commitment that this time round it must work. As Sakaja would put it, lazima iwak. And that is why I am delighted to meet you as our local manufacturers of health products, health technologies, and all the other stakeholders in the pharmaceutical manufacturing space in Kenya. The noble work that you do not only enables us to deliver on healthcare, but also creates jobs for millions of our young people and also contributes significantly to economic growth in Kenya. This first local manufacturing expo, whose theme is spurring local manufacturing for supply of affordable and quality essential health products and technologies towards achieving universal healthcare goals, is aligned with our national aspiration for reviving and transforming Kenya's economy through local manufacturing and local industrialization. The health sector has great potential to significantly contribute to industrialization through intensive investments in local manufacturing of health products and technologies. I take note that Kenya is currently the largest producer of pharmaceutical products in the common markets and Southern Africa region, COMESA, supplying almost 50% of the region's market. I'm optimistic that with close collaboration between the government and manufacturers of health products, Kenya's manufacturing industry will expand its market share in Africa as more opportunities become available as a result of both COMESA, EAC, SADC combined into tripartite treaty agreement, and also the expanded Africa Continental Free Trade Area. It will be my responsibility to you to make sure that we not only make it possible for you to invest in and thrive in Kenya, but to also tap into the opportunities that come with the expanded market into EAC, into COMESA, tripartite space between SADC, COMESA, and EAC, and onto the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. You have seen what we are doing, trying to consolidate the African market into one single market to make it easier for investors like yourselves and others that will be partnering with you to build capacities that would not only supply products, health products to Kenya, but to our region as well. Previous efforts have not had a significant impact, and farmer imports continue to grow faster than exports, with the country importing over 70% of the total value of its pharmaceutical needs annually. Indeed, the government is aware that local manufacturing requires significant support to compete with a highly competitive multi-billion-dollar global pharmaceutical market. Statistics indicate that Africa's pharmaceutical industry is growing rapidly, reaching US dollars 28.56 billion, about 4.2 trillion in 2017, from 5.5 billion, about 814 billion a decade earlier. While developing countries' markets are stagnating, it is predicted that the African market will increase from 56 billion to $70 billion, a whole 10.3 trillion by 2030. A reason enough to strategically position Kenya's pharmaceutical industry to leverage on this opportunity. I'm just trying to paint the picture for you to know what the future looks like if you are in this space. The key challenge hindering the harmonization, growth, and advancement of local manufacturing of health products and technologies is lack of non-facilitative regulatory framework. We have not optimized aspects of technology transfer, capacity utilization, transfer pricing, use of generics and brand names, bulk purchasing, and protection of local manufacturers effectively. By all indicators, local manufacturing of health products has registered a measure of admirable success, but there is a big room for improvement. I am aware of the long-standing challenges local manufacturers face, and my administration is committed to ensuring that by 2026, mark these dates, they are important to you as manufacturers, at least 50% of the medicines listed in the Kenya Essential Medicines list will be manufactured and available locally. We will work with you and all the other stakeholders to coordinate activities among financiers, industry, and technical providers to reduce transaction costs, ensure critical investment in system enablers, and support manufacturers in dealing with various requests for assistance. Coordination across the country will ensure diversified supply and a viable market for new products. Furthermore, the Government of Kenya will support the establishment and strengthening of the requisite regulatory and policy framework to facilitate the achievement of this commitment. Last week in Cabinet, Minister here brought the necessary legislation that is going to provide greater space and expertise for the Pharmaceutical and Poisons Board that registers drugs and all the other pharmaceutical products that are available locally and even globally, to make it a much more fit-for-purpose vehicle to facilitate this transformation. My administration will also ensure that we work through regional initiatives and agencies to support local manufacturers to achieve the World Health Organization's good manufacturing practice standards, to not only produce for Kenya, but also open up the market for the export of products outside the region and all the way into the continent. In fast-tracking local manufacturing for increased access and affordability of health products and technologies, job creation and economic growth for Kenya, my administration commits to increase tariff lines for imported health products and technologies as outlined in the East Africa Community Common External Tariff of 2017. We will also adequately cater for this and closely linked products, but reduce ambiguities and avoid hindrance to market access. The government will also set aside infrastructure, including land. In fact, we are in the process of identifying the former land that belonged to Del Monte in Murang'a. I have discussed with the county government of Murang'a. They have set aside 500 acres for a special economic zone, 200 of which will be made specifically for pharmaceutical companies. This will be land that will be made available with some measure of good infrastructure and an ecosystem of policies and fiscal incentives to ensure that you can set up camp easily and be able to access not just the local market, but provide avenues for you to access the international market as well. And to ensure maximum impact, the government will provide guidance on the priority products to be manufactured within the villages in line with the implementation of the Universal Health Coverage Essential Benefits Package. We will strengthen research, development, and innovation by increasing financing for clinical trials at the Kenya Medical Research Institute right here in Kenya. This will boost research and commercialization of health products and technologies through Biovacs, and I see the MD is right here, Limited, and contract manufacturing opportunities with local manufacturers. My administration also, if you looked at the budget critically, we have also increased incentives around the space of manufacture of pharmaceutical products. We have removed taxes and other requirements on manufacturing of animal vaccine, of human vaccine, and the whole manufacturing of pharmaceutical products space. Again, to give opportunity to you and others to expand your operations in Kenya. We are also in conversation, and I have told the Minister for Trade to work with her colleague in energy to see the tariffs, the energy tariffs in our special economic zones where we are facilitating your setup so that we can increase the opportunity for our products to be affordable, and we can assist you to penetrate the market, not just in Kenya, but regionally and globally as well. We will strengthen, as I have told you, local regulatory framework for health products and technologies to ensure it achieves majority level number 3 or above. The country is committed to ensuring that it legislates a medical authority as well as ratifies the African Medicine Agency. These steps will help reduce timelines taken for the registration of medicines and the introduction of new products into our market. We will ensure that Kenya becomes attractive to local and foreign investors in health manufacturing. Our presence here today to open Square Pharmaceuticals, which I did earlier, confirms our unwavering support for investors, including manufacturers of pharmaceuticals. And let me say this because it is the reason why I came here, that our quest for universal health coverage, this time round, we have said we must succeed. And it is the reason we have taken time to interrogate all aspects that will make it possible to roll out universal health coverage without failure. We have looked at the framework, legislative framework that will backstop and facilitate our universal health coverage delivery. I must congratulate Parliament that yesterday at least 2 pieces of legislation were concluded. And they have promised me that by Tuesday next week, they will also conclude the remaining 2. So we will end up with 4 pieces of legislation that will support our delivery of universal health coverage in Kenya, which this function is part of the build-up activities towards 20th, when we will be launching the universal health coverage program nationally to live up to our commitment that health must not be a privilege for those who can afford, but it must be a deliverable by the government of Kenya for every Kenyan, starting from the home state. And that is why we are talking about Afya Nyumbani. The program that I launched 2 weeks ago, where we are kitting all our 100,000 community health promoters, is to ensure that in every home state, in every village in Kenya, there is a community health promoter who will work with the communities to transit and to actualize our paradigm shift from being focused on curative health provision to one that we do preventive as well as promotive health interventions. That is not exactly bad news for you guys. I don't think it is. I don't think anybody likes to sell medicine merely because they want people to be sick. It is when we cannot avoid being sick, that is why we have to take medicine. But we're trying to see how we can make it possible for citizens who suffer from ailments that are preventable, ailments that we can manage, but because there isn't a clear pathway where citizens get the correct information, get to manage their conditions earlier, that is where we end up with huge bills in big hospitals with drugs and many things that put a huge burden on the people of Kenya. And that is why we are working together in this space as we work towards prevention on one end, and that is our plan. We also want to work with you as manufacturers. And my job will be to do between 3 or 4 things. My job is to ensure that we create a market for your products in Kenya by buying what you are producing instead of importing. That is one of my responsibilities. And as Waziri has said, we have given very clear instructions to all our public entities that buy pharmaceutical products, starting with KEMSA, that we will not import any product that is being manufactured locally. In fact, going forward, where we have at least 3 manufacturers of a product, we should never import that product into Kenya. Let the competition between the players, the manufacturers in Kenya, is sufficient for us to get value for the drugs and the pharmaceutical products that we are looking for. For the first time, I have been told by some of the pharmaceutical companies in Kenya, when we issued this instruction, and we asked the ministry to make sure that the conditions and also the details and the specifications of the drugs that we are asking and of the pharmaceutical products that we are asking are not dictated by vendors. Because for a very long time, vendors went into the ministry and put their products as specifications for the supply of products. And that is why we have ended up with one supplier for 20, 30 years of a product that is being produced in Kenya, but they just twisted the specifications, and we have said that will not happen again. Yeah? I promise you, we are going to drain the swamp at the Ministry of Health. It will not continue to do the things they have done before. And if the same product with slightly different specifications is available in Kenya, why do you insist on that other product that's not available in Kenya if it is not something else? So we have agreed, and I'm very happy that there are companies today who have been manufacturing in Kenya. They have never sold to KEMSA, but this year they have started selling to KEMSA. I don't know whether there are some companies here who can stand and say for the first time they've gotten an opportunity to supply. At least we have two here. There is another gentleman right at the corner there. There is another gentleman at the corner there. There is another. You see? Ebu Simameni, the people who have gotten to supply to KEMSA for the first time this year. Look at that. People who are manufacturing in Kenya. In fact, I was shocked when I went to one manufacturing facility and the manufacturer asked me, Mr. President, we are manufacturing products that are globally acclaimed. We are supplying to India, we are supplying to Pakistan, we are supplying to Europe, but we cannot supply to KEMSA. You know? And that is when I took the decision that enough is enough in KEMSA. We just have to get it right. And I want to promise you that it's not going to be a one-off. That is going to be the tradition of Kenya going forward. We are going to manufacture our products locally. And we are not just going to manufacture our products using our local manufacturing capabilities. It is also my responsibility to make sure that the products you are manufacturing in Kenya also find a market in EAC, find a market in COMESA, find a market in our continent, because your facilities are world-class. Your facilities manufacture products that meet international standards, and we are going to even provide affirmative action. If in the event that you cannot compete with some of the big brands out there, we are going to have affirmative action for locally manufactured products. Because aside from supplying us with products, you are hiring our people and you are paying taxes in Kenya. So you must, that must count for something in your operation. The second issue that I must do is to provide an environment, a business environment, an investment environment that promotes your products and make sure that they are not only competitive in Kenya, but they are also competitive globally. It will also be my responsibility to build the regional networks, the continental networks, and even a global market for the products that you manufacture in Kenya. My only request to you is that as I do my part, you do yours. You manufacture affordably, you hire the many Kenyans that are around, and you pay taxes. I think that's a fair deal. What do you think? Yeah, I will do my part. You will do yours, sindio? So I think if we square it out that way, that you will do your part and I will do mine, we will get the country moving. Let me also commit to you that the universal health coverage program that we are rolling out, we will make you our partners. I think our expenditure on import of pharmaceutical products is anywhere in the region of 150 billion, thereabout, Kenya shillings yearly. That is huge. And it makes the case for any investor and any investment. If you have that kind of market, it is sufficient market for you to invest in Kenya. So we're going to work with you. We're going to be listening to you. We want to have a partnership. The minister and the PSS in the ministry will be available for consultations with you. And I promise you that we will buy your products as a first priority in Kenya. The ones you manufacture here. Senor, I know there are people here who are also doing that other business, which is okay. For the products we are not producing locally, of course, where we have no choice, we will work with international and global suppliers of those products. And just to backstop and to tell you that we are looking at exciting moments ahead of us as we build into the greater market that's available to us. I have given you statistics about what the future looks like, and therefore you made the right decision by investing in your manufacturing facility in Kenya as we look into the future. So asanteni sana. Let me congratulate all of you. I look forward to working with the pharmaceutical industry in making sure that we deliver on the big subject of health that is dear to many Kenyans. Asanteni sana, and God bless you. Just to confirm also that we will be making additional resources available to KEMSA. I have already instructed Minister to make an extra 2 billion shillings to KEMSA to enhance their ability to buy products from you for onward supply to our public entities around Kenya. And we've already agreed with the county governments that they will pay. They will pay. They will pay their part as we all make this thing work. So asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And in case you are taking notes, there are several things he says: produce affordably, employ Kenyans, and pay taxes. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, if we may just take our seats briefly. This day, I'm told, also marks the launching of 5 documents: the Kenya Essential Medicines List 2023, the Kenya National Medicines Formulary 2023, the Kenya Essential Medical Supplies 2023, the Kenya Essential Diagnostic List 2023, and the specification for Kenya Essential Diagnostic List 2023. And just a very brief video of what those are before we finish with the national anthem. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this particular session. I'll request that we now stand up, and we have the NHIF choir to lead us with the national anthem as our closing prayer. The national anthem.
Udugu, amani na uhuru, will allow His Excellency to now leave at his own pleasure. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Promoting local manufacturing of health of medicines and health products for the attainment of universal health coverage goals is officially on. This particular forum is going to be today and tomorrow. That is after a very powerful keynote address by the chief guest this Friday evening, being President William Ruto. Some of the take-homes in regard to this particular forum on day one is that the president has promised key issues. One of them, he has promised to have affirmative action within the health sector value chain, especially when it comes to supporting local manufacturers produce local products at an affordable price, so that you and I, when we go to hospital, we can get medical services at an affordable rate. Another promise that the president has made is that he has promised to look at policies that are going to bring, or rather lower, the cost of production. This is an issue that has been highly highlighted by the manufacturers who are attending this particular forum, citing the issue of cost of energy, as well as the value addition. That is VAT that is affecting the cost of this particular final products, making them uncompetitive, especially with the influx of imports from abroad. Then also they've talked about competition, to have a level playing field that is going to allow local manufacturers also tap into this lucrative niche, and providing an environment to spur local demand. He has highlighted what the panelists had said earlier in the morning, just in case you missed that, is that the panelists said, in as much as we have a local production of medical products and services at around 40 to 60%. Still, you and I as Wanjiku, or rather the populace that is in Kenya, prefers seeking medical services and products too that are sourced from abroad. So now with this particular forum, stakeholders have implored on the president to ensure that there is local uptake, or rather demand. And also the president has promised, when we talk about demand, he is not only focusing on ensuring that we have a demand of these particular products just within our borders as Kenya, but also regionally. Then this is in regard to matters of access to regional markets. That was just to give you a quick summary of how day one of this particular forum has been, with now providing an opportunity for both government, private sector, all stakeholders within the value chain to speak in unison, and also see how and which and the role that technologies especially can play to ensure fair play, easy access as well as lower the cost of production. I hand you over to Broadcasting House for normal programming. I'm Regina Manyara.